304-4405 and start your campaign today. Are you ready to create unforgettable moments for your audience? NSN offers professional live streaming and full broadcast services tailored to your needs. From high-quality production to exceptional coverage, we ensure your game or event becomes a spectacle to remember. Book your next game with us today.
A hot and beautiful Sunday afternoon here in Detroit, Michigan. Detroit City FC 2, Chicago Nation battling in the round of 32 for a chance to move on in the national playoffs. That match and more coming up next right here on UPSL TV. Hello, everybody, and welcome here into Detroit Mercy, home of the Titans. It is a battle of two Titans here today. Detroit City FC 2, Chicago Nation, both teams coming in here well in control of their future. And Dan, when we talk about these two teams, we talk about how strong they have been throughout this season, how strong they've been in their history. Again, my name's Jonathan Turner alongside Dan Stickrat. We're bringing you our Detroit studios here this afternoon. And Dan, when we talk about these two teams, again, we talk about how successful they've been throughout this season.
Well, you look at the regular season and the postseason combined, and these two teams are both quite on a roll. Detroit City SC2, 8 straight wins where they've outscored the opposition 29-3 with 5 shutouts in that run. Their counterparts, 7 straight wins. They're averaging 3.47 goals a game this season, or 11-2 overall. Detroit, 10-1 overall. So two red hot teams, two teams have been used to winning, playing with confidence. You look up and down the numbers, what these two sides have been able to do here over the last 4 months. There's no secret why these two teams are at this stage of the UPSL National Tournament.
It is hot outside today, 87 degrees. We'll take it back out now to Titan Field here in Detroit. Again, it is a beautiful day, but it is a hot day. Let's take a look at the current weather here on your screen right now. There it is. It's 84 degrees. It'll feel like 89 on that turf. As both teams get ready to walk out here in a moment. Let's take a look here at the national playoff bracket. And there it is. Detroit City FC and Chicago Nation up there in that far right side of your screen. They will take on the winner of Foot Ohio SC and New York Shockers. And that will take place here next weekend, with the quarterfinals taking place July 26th. The national finals all the way in Orange County, California will take place here coming up August 8th and the 10th. Let's take a look here at both these teams at a little more different level, Dan. We'll dive in here first to Chicago Nation, making their way all the way from the suburbs of Chicago. They played 13 total matches this season, 11 wins, 2 losses. They have obviously not lost a game here in some time. They finished second in their division, that Midwest Central North. They 1-0 victory over Diverse City back in June, a 3-1 victory over Round Lake Evolution, and then a victory over KS Wisloka last weekend to make their way here.
When you look at those 2 losses by Chicago Nation, they were quite some time ago. They lost to KS Wisloka, Chicago, back on April 26th. That was a 1-0 setback. And then their next game on May 10th, Round Lake Evolution SC knocked off Chicago Nation 2-1. They have not tasted defeat since. Again, 7 straight wins, putting up big numbers offensively, 45-8 overall scoring edge, 6 shutouts defensively. They're a very good defensive team as well. 0.62 goals against average as a team.
Take a look now here at the home side in Detroit City FC2. They finished first in this division in the Midwest East. They finished 9-1. They had a 5-1 victory over Duca here a few weeks back, and then a 1-0 victory over Detroit United on Monday night to get themselves here in a place not only to play in this game, but also to host a game here today.
Just 1 loss, .910 win percentage. Again, this is a team that is playing very well, playing as a unit, very deep. And they've averaged 3.73 goals per game, giving up just 0.55 a match, 41-6 overall scoring. And both these teams have similar stats. And you look at Detroit City FC2. They lost to Duca SC 3-0 back on May 18th. Since then, again, we talked about it earlier in the broadcast, 8 straight wins since that defeat.
It's again moments away from these two teams making their way here out onto the pitch. We wanted to be able to put up a starting 11 graphic for you this afternoon, but we did not get rosters until just a few moments ago. We'll try and decipher those here as fast as we possibly can. But with that being said, let's take a look at these two teams in comparison, Dan. We'll put that up on your screen right now as well. This is a look at their overall stats. I know you talked about the goals maybe not being tabulated on the UPSL website, but here it is. 12 matches for Detroit City FC, 11 wins, 1 loss, 40 goals. They scored, only allowing 6, and that really is the same for both these teams. They both allowed 6 goals here throughout this season. Chicago Nation only scoring 39 goals, so just a 1-goal differential there. So plus 34 for Detroit City FC, plus 33 for Chicago Nation. These teams are as similar as you can possibly be.
Yeah, it took a little late-game heroics for Detroit City FC just a few nights ago in their 1-0 victory over Detroit United. Benjamin Wajano, a Salem High School grad, about 45 minutes west of here, scored his first goal of the 2025 campaign to win it in stoppage time.
Teams have made their way out onto the pitch. Detroit City FC will be in their home maroons. Chicago Nation in their white and multicolored trim, blue and white and red. And this is live right now on the UPSL YouTube channel as well as on Roku TV. So we're happy to have you along wherever you're watching here today. Get involved in the chat as well. We were informed of the starting 11s for Chicago Nation. In goal here today for Chicago Nation, common goalkeeper for them is Tristan Stefani. You've got Noah Glorioso, Michael Flores, Nick Labjan, Christian Marquez, Corey Pitlick, Munar Alami, Charlie Crockford, Ali Marley, Sasha Lebovich, and Zakhar Skachenko. A look there at Lebovich. I believe there was a last-second change. I think actually maybe Logan Finnegan might have made his way into the lineup as well here for Chicago Nation. As the customary team pictures taking place. And Dan, what are your predictions in this one?
Well, when you have two teams that have very similar numbers, first of all, you would expect a very tight match. I don't see a side winning 4-0 or 5-1. I expect this to be a 1-goal game. We could see double overtime being played here today. Possibly a 1-0 thriller, a 2-1 victory for either team, but I expect it to be very close. There is a lot of talent up and down these rosters. Both sides have a deep well of a talent pool. A lot of players currently playing at some high-quality colleges. They grew up in very good high schools or played for very talented youth club systems. Some MLS Next players are on both of these teams as well. So you would expect, with all the talent these two teams are putting on the pitch here today, this nothing but a classic.
Both these teams get prepared to battle here today. The UPSL, one of the largest leagues in the country in both men's and women's soccer. Over 400 teams nationwide participate in this league, and they are now participating in the national playoffs that have taken place all across this country. We'll talk about that throughout much of this match here this afternoon. And just to the south of Titan Field is Callahan Hall, historic Callahan Hall. This game being played on the historic campus of the University of Detroit Mercy, a Horizon League university here, one of two Horizon League schools here in Michigan. Oak University is the other. And we are officially underway here from Detroit, Michigan. Detroit City FC 2 and Chicago Nation. Detroit City again in their home maroons, going right to left on your screen. Chicago Nation are in their away whites. They're going left to right. In goal here today for Detroit City FC, Alexander Heisch, the youngster who I had a chance to call his name back here a couple years ago when he played for the Nationals Pro-Am side. Since moved on now to play here for Detroit City FC. Ball was played inside. That's Streberger. A lot of local names here on this Detroit City FC side. Storley. Picked up now by Nation. Sent into the 18, and that's tracked down. And now played back to Heisch. And these, that's a dangerous tackle right there. Is foul being called against Chicago Nation. And Dan, when we talk about these two teams and the battle we're about to see here this afternoon, one of those things is, how do you stay fresh on a day like today when it's 84 degrees out but feels like it's 130?
Yeah, the humidity is finally playing a factor here across the Midwest. We've had quite a bit of rain this spring and summer so far. But the temperatures up in the 80s and 90s here.
Skachenko plays one into the 18 towards that far side and kept on now as Detroit City will play it from the back.
Teams will look to conserve their energy as well. We were talking about the weather here just a moment ago, the humidity. You don't want to be chasing the opposition and expend a bunch of energy, especially in the first half.
It's Finnegan. Takes a spill, and now we'll see a free kick coming up here for Chicago Nation.
That was quickly intercepted. I'm not sure what Chicago Nation was trying to attempt on that. They put the ball down, and the player sent it in, and it was like a direct pass to a DCSC player.
His ball. Foul and a free kick coming up here. Soccer night in Detroit. There's no double overtime in soccer, only extra time and then penalties. Did we say that? I don't think we said that. Maybe it's just a statement. They're just making a statement. So, comments coming in now on the UPSL YouTube channel. So a free kick on that far side coming up here for Chicago Nation. Crockford will take this. Two-man wall. Curves one in towards that back post. Loose. Now a shot low. He's with a great save. Off the toe. Xander Heiss with a fantastic save. On the doorstep. And pushed aside.
When you have that many players standing inside the 18, sometimes it's hard to see a shot go through. Chicago Nation attempted 2 shots on that. The second one right in the hands of Heisch. He's trying to look around a bevy of players inside the box.
Let's take another look at this one here. Get a great curved ball towards the back post. Loose. And what a save from Heisch. Shot in by Munir Alami. As Strieberger plays it out wide. Played back to Stefani. Played up in the middle of the pitch. As Elder now into Strieberger. Preston Hayward in the chat now on the UPSL YouTube channel says, "Let's go Nation." Christopher Ross says DC. One back. Flores back. Was thinking to go back to Stefani, but instead turns it back, and they'll continue to build out of the back here, Dan. And 7 minutes in, and so far we've seen a couple chances for Chicago Nation. They've been a little more dominant in the early going of this game.
2-0 overall in shots. Both those shots on target. They were consecutive shots, a couple seconds apart. Both these teams very balanced on the offensive end. You look at the entire season. Both sides have.
Alamy puts it in and right into the hands of Heisch. And, Dan, another good chance here for Chicago Nation. Alamy so far in the early going of this one has shown what he's capable of.
Two shots and a cross that forced Heisch off his line to snare that cross just a moment ago. Chicago Nation also controlling a lot of possession here in the first 7.5 minutes. But I mentioned offensive balance here a moment ago before that cross. Sometimes it's difficult to really mark anyone up. Both teams have 6 players between 3 and 9 goals here in 2025. Impressive balance.
Ball played short. Skachenko looks to curl one on the turf. That did not make its way through, and Detroit City will build out of their back. Ball at the feet of ball into the 18. Look at it slide across, and that's finally cleared away. Another ball put in, and Stefani.
Detroit City starting to show a little signs of life. Getting the ball inside the box twice there, just a few seconds apart.
Yes.
Detroit City starting to put a little more pressure on that back line of Chicago Nation. Nation finally able to clear it all the way down the upside of the field. Now looking on the counterattack. And there's a shot wide of target. Goal kick coming up for DCSC2. 3-0 in shots overall in favor of Chicago Nation here in the first 10 minutes and 40 seconds. Detroit City looks to build off their back line once again. DCC working it back and forth. DCSC once again trying to find a seam in that defense on that far right side.
This ball is slotted in. And this will earn the first corner of the afternoon for Detroit City.
So 13th minute, first corner kick coming up for DCFC. Look to bend it into the box, try to create a scoring chance.
Gregory Trask will put this one in. Curling ball. It's long and played to Obeid, and that one sails over the bar. So that actually on either, I don't know if Stefani got a touch on it or not, but it definitely went out off of a Chicago Nation player and out for another corner kick.
Looked like just outside the box. The initial shot was slightly deflected over the crossbar.
Another ball played long, put back across. Not a big fan of those long balls off corner because we talked about it before, Dan.
We talked about it several times here in recent weeks, where you never know how many set pieces you're going to get throughout the course of the match, so you need to make them count. I do not see teams at any levels of soccer having success on corner kicks to go long, well past the goal mouth area. Serve it in the mixing bowl and see what you can get out of it.
Cut inside. Glorioso. Ball played back. Heiss will clear that away one time. Ball pushed out wide. Finnegan loses the ball. It crosses out for a goal kick. Storley played it inside. Stefani. Chicago Nation on the move. Long ball over the top for now for Skachenko. Skachenko now into the 18, goes down. We see no foul called. It's cleared away.
Both players, a little bit of tugging of the jerseys on both sides. Both players just trying to go for the ball. Referee says play on. Situations like that, you can't necessarily call a foul if both players are doing the exact same thing.
And pressure continues from Chicago Nation. They're looking to challenge that back line to Detroit City.
DCSU was putting a lot of pressure on Chicago Nation's back line there for about a 3-minute period. That's when you're more susceptible to a quick counterattack. That's what Chicago Nation did, serving that ball long. Maybe we can get the ball inside the box.
Glorioso. Alamy. Look to fire a shot. That's blocked. Now a one-time ball struck, and that's going to deflect off of Detroit City and out for a corner kick.
Two quick shots, resulting in that corner kick. First of the game coming up for Chicago Nation. Chicago's a 5-1 shots advantage so far. Store Callahan Hall in the background, off to your right.
Another high ball played off the corner. Makes its way to Pitlick. He'll send one in towards the 6 and picked up by Heiss.
And forcing Heiss to come off his line. Chicago Nation, if they were able to get a flick during that series, could have been a little bit more dangerous. So far, Heiss has done a very good job of controlling his box here in the first 18 minutes.
Good settle. Played through the middle and out wide now. Skachenko tracks it down. Lifts one into the 18. It's chested down, and Heiss will cover it up.
It's always dangerous when you try to chest it down in the middle of the box to your goalkeeper. All it takes is a player from the opposition to kind of stick their foot in there, and could become disastrous.
Looking to go over the top and defended well by Nation. Glorioso now up over midfield. Now all the way back to Stefani. It will go. Harajan there for Detroit City. Tinka loses the ball. It's a dangerous tackle, but Obeid, Detroit City still pressing here in the defensive third of Chicago Nation. They look to go over the top, and all the way back it will go.
Just a ton of pace on that through ball. No one makes a run.
Storley will get it back.
In the 20th minutes, both teams kind of got a glimpse of what each side has out on the field.
Good ball played to this near side. Put across. Oh, Stefani bobbles the ball.
Come on, City!
A simple looking ball almost creating havoc for Stefani and Chicago Nation.
Detroit City starting to pick up the pace and put it in terms of playing high pressure, trying to force Chicago Nation's defenders to make a mistake here in the final third of the field.
Good defensive work, but one back by Chicago Nation and Flores. It's a battle on that far side. Flores almost taking down Priestap. One of those days, Dan, where it's so hot outside that you'd probably much rather be watching the game from home. There's obviously a lot of summer days and nights where you'd rather be out at the park watching a game like this, but the humidity alone just makes it really unbearable.
Yeah, even this morning at 10 a.m., I walked outside of my car to grab something, and I could just feel the humidity within seconds.
This ball was played in. That's a shot from Finnegan right into the arms of Heisch.
Third save of the afternoon for Heisch. Chicago Nation's been more dangerous on the attacks. 6-2 in total shots, 3-1 with shots on frame thus far as we're now in the 22nd minute. Detroit City does lead 2-1 on corner kicks.
Referee points for and in favor of Detroit City. Chicago Nation traveling all the way from the suburbs of Chicago this afternoon to play in this match. Detroit City not traveling very far to be in this game. Over the years, we've seen Detroit United in these matches. They fell short here on Mondays. This ball played in by Almy, and now Skachenko puts it in the back of the net, and Chicago Nation take a 1-0 lead.
Left-footed bending, low shot towards that right post. Just enough space to uncork that shot, kept it low. Their 7th shot attempt of the game, 1-0 in favor of Chicago Nation.
Alamy sends it in, and Skachenko didn't get a lot of power on that shot, but just placed it on that right side of the net. Gets past Heisch, and Chicago Nation have a 1-0 lead.
Come on, go guys, go.
Skachenko came in with 5 goals so far this season. Coming through the clutch, give his side a 1-0 advantage here in the first half.
Al-Shanawi plays it into the 18. Pops up and don't believe he was able to keep that one on. So Trask will slide over to take this corner kick, the third of the match for Detroit City. That ball is smashed off the woodwork. Oh, Bede, another shot that did not look dangerous, but it just hits off the woodwork and goes.
It looked like it was going to sail with a crossbar, just kind of like changed direction and dipped straight down off the top, came back into the field of play. Kind of like a knuckleball in baseball. You think it's going to do one thing and it does another.
Ball one back by Chicago Nation. Now played back to Heisch. Look to one time clear this up, and he does. Skachenko gets a touch on it. And here they come. Skachenko has Glorioso back inside the 18, and he'll end up drawing the corner. So 26 minutes in, it's 1-0 here in favor of Chicago Nation. Skachenko getting the goal in the 23rd minute. He'll play this off the corner as well, and Heiss will get a fist to it. Now played. Crockford. Crockford will send a laser that goes up and over. And just looking, he's all by himself. Just top of the 18 and puts this one up and over.
Very dangerous opportunity for Chicago Nation. That ball kind of drops down towards the framework. That might have been able to sneak into the upper 90. Can't give players that much operating space within 25, 30 yards of the goal.
Strieberger. Makes its way into the hands of Stefani. You are watching the UPSL round of 32 elimination game here on the UPSL YouTube channel and the National Soccer Network Roku TV channel. Jonathan Turner alongside Dan Stickrat. Detroit City SC in their maroon home kits going right to left on your screen. Chicago Nation in their white, red, and blue trimmed kits going left to right, as that was not a good look from Ali Marley, the center back for Chicago Nation. He looked almost as if he made contact with the face of Zane Elder. And if you're Chicago Nation, you don't want to find yourself down a man. I mean, you don't want to go down a player. I mean,
1-0 leads are never easy to defend. Try doing it in the heat. Down a player.
Flag does go up as Manuel carry on in an offside position. You are watching for the first time on the UPSL YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button, like, and share this with your friends and family. A lot of chat going on right now. Soccer Night Detroit in the chat. Haram Boca Chica? Pronounce that right, I do apologize. Or Christopher Ross. Abdu Tiran also making his way into the chat. The flag going up again.
So 2 quick calls. Player being in an offside position against Detroit City. Looks like they'll take their first water break.
Well, that they will. We'll take a look at how beautiful of a day it is here in Detroit, Dan. And, we talk about, the atmosphere. We talk about stadiums. And this stadium, Dan, is in its own right historic. This location is historic, right? I had a chance to walk these grounds here just 2 weeks ago in preparation for our new contract with the University of Detroit and the Titans. And we were looking at the facility, and I had a chance to go into Callahan Hall and look at the Hall of Fame and look at just kind of how everything is laid out there. And the history, I was unaware that Detroit Mercy and the Titans had a football team back in the early 1900s.
Yeah, they did a long time ago.
This stadium that we're currently on right now, it used to be a full-fledged football stadium back in the day. I don't know the exact amount of people that could fit in that stadium, but it looked pretty significant. And now, obviously, it's just a multi-purpose soccer and lacrosse stadium. But it is lined with football as well, but I think it's mainly used for soccer and lacrosse here at the university.
Club football. There's a track here around the perimeter of the pitch. But inside Callahan Hall, it is an older facility, obviously, but a lot of history. I've covered many high school basketball games inside that facility, Catholic High School League. Some MHSA regionals or state quarterfinals have been played there over the last few decades. Even long before I became a member of the media as well. Just a lot of history inside the confines of Callahan Hall.
You know it's hot outside when your camera operator goes water break. All kidding aside, it is I had a chance. One of our camera operator Peter stopped by here earlier today. I had a chance to meet with Sam Fisher as well, one of our main camera operators, and I met him this morning. I walked outside. It was 9:30, and you would have thought it was 4 o'clock in the afternoon. How hot it is, and we see our center official wearing a long sleeve uniform here today. So, I can't explain that part, especially with it being 84 and feeling like 86. When you got on that turf field, it immediately gets hotter. It's immediate. It's still a lot of time left in this game. How do we get here? Let's take a look at the goal that was scored here back in the 23rd minute. Skachenko gets this ball from Alamy. Again, he's 2 defenders right there, and that's what Skachenko can do to you. He can twist, he can turn, he can sneak his way through, and even the simplest of shots can still find their way into the back of the net.
He kind of shield that body, ball with his body, turn to his left. Just enough space, just enough pace. Sneak that ball inside that right post. Talented forwards and midfielders, they can do that to you. If you just give them enough space to operate, they will uncork a shot. Place it into the back of the net.
Come on, City!
Detroit City SC, one of the best teams, ownership groups, arguably in the country at the professional ranks. You talk about the USL Championship. You talk about the Northern Guard and the supporters groups and what Detroit City has been able to do here over the years. Obviously, this is their 2 side. This is their developmental side. They have teams playing, obviously, in the youth environments. This is the amateur, semi-professional environment, giving these players an opportunity to play at the next level. It was announced yesterday. Bilal Obed signed an academy contract with Detroit City FC yesterday, along with Zane Elder. So that in itself just tells you how what Detroit City FC is trying to accomplish. Is this ball played up this near side? Al-Hashinawi loses the ball. We talk about, could this ever be replicated as a long-range shot is blocked? Could another team in the country do what Detroit City FC did, which is starting off as again, a group of friends coming together, playing soccer, and ultimately turning themselves into a USL championship organization, the second highest level of professional soccer in this country.
And they draw extremely well. Obviously, they announced they were going to build a new stadium a year ago. Those plans have been released in segments here the last few months.
And just like their USL championship side has seen success, now in their second year in this UPSL, they find themselves here competing for a national championship now. And again, once you find your way into a tournament like this, and we've talked about this, Dan, quite a bit over the years. We've covered 3 national finals. I've had a chance to be on the call for 3 of them. And I've seen the likes of Chicago Nation making their way into a semifinal and winning a third-place match. They have been to a semifinal and finals before as well, back in 2022. And what it takes for a team to get there. A lot of the teams in the summer are made up of heavy of collegiate players. And what happens is you start making a playoff run, you lose those players. And so it's hard for you to compete, and it's hard for you to go on and compete for a national playoff or tournament, right? And so teams like Detroit City FC, teams like Chicago Nation that are heavy mix of players who are graduated from college and have moved, and again, more experienced players. Those are the types of teams that will end up having a longer success in a playoff run like this.
And they'll still have a sprinkling of college players and players that are still in high school or just graduated here back in May or June. But you need large master rosters, because it doesn't matter what amateur, pre-professional, semi-pro league that you play in. Once you get in July, and college is starting to call these kids back. I mean, even this week, a lot of NCAA Division I teams, especially incoming freshmen and transfers across the Big Ten, have to start reporting this week.
Al-Hashinawi making his way down by the end line. Good defense by Glorioso.
Great effort, kind of shield that ball, be able to get it outside of the box. No harm done.
Skachenko with his left foot threads the needle through that back line, but the flag did go up, and Alami, who was trailing, actually got that ball, but Finnegan drew that call.
It's the first time in the game that Chicago Nation whistled for a player in an offside position.
Bovic up that far side, now back to Heisch. Calmly plays that ball right at the middle. Confidence of Heisch is really good. So their ball whipped out wide. Now Skachenko. Skachenko. He'll cut. Now Skachenko! Back of the net in the 38th minute. He has a brace, and Chicago leads by 2.
Great cut back by Skachenko again, right around the 18. Look at that replay. Just breaks free down that right side, cuts it back just a couple yards inside the box, sucks it home inside that right post.
Skachenko with his second goal of the game have given Chicago Nation that 2-0 lead. 15 minutes apart from his first.
9-3 in total shots, 5-1 with shots on frame. 2-0 advantage here for Chicago Nation. Later stages of this first half. Detroit City find themselves in a hole.
the latter part of this first half. It's a great ball. Play long up that far side. It's going to go out for a corner kick. The fourth corner of the match.
Fourth corner, the Detroit City SC just one shot on frame so far. We've played just over 39 minutes. Need to start making these set pieces count when you have them.
Trask now for Detroit City. Lob one into the 18. Up goes Stefani. He'll come up with it as Sturley was there. Now Stefani met by contact. Chicago Nation players not happy with that moment. It's now we'll restart this. Referee having a word.
This final warning. Next time that happens, it will be an introduction to Mr. Yellow Card.
Under 5 minutes to go here in this first half. UPSL National Playoffs round of 32. We're watching it on the UPSL YouTube channel as well as the National Soccer Network on Roku TV. Up this near side. Carry in. Now Halshinawi. Kwashi, that ball out wide. Elder down by the end line. Looks to slot it across. Now Al Hashinawi was there, but that's flicked up, and Chicago Nation in control once again. Good switch to that far side. Good spell here for Nation. Alamy on his right foot. Down by the end line, puts it across, back post. And Klobuchar could not get over it. Carrion loses his footing, and the referee will call a foul and a free kick coming up here for Detroit City.
Somewhat of a clean game overall in this match. Just 2 fouls against Chicago Nation here. We're now in the 42nd minute, getting ready to cross into the 43rd.
Busy day here for the Premier Media Group and the National Soccer Network as we continue the WPSL National Playoffs as well. We completed the USLW National Semifinals last night. As this ball is sent in, Stefani went up to get a punch on it, now cleared away by Lebovic. Finnegan will settle it down now and try to make a move on that far side. He'll go down like a ton of bricks, and a yellow card is issued. Not quite sure who got the card. It was Trask, number 2. So Gregory Trask will get a yellow card in the 43rd minute. First yellow card here of the game.
I just mentioned a moment ago that there's been a little bit of extracurricular activities going on, a little extra bumping and shoving and tugging. The referee did warn a couple players here in the last 5 minutes, so on that occasion, the bookings have begun.
We'll start our USL 2 playoff coverage here coming up this week. All 16 games throughout the 8 regions across the country will be coming through our studios this weekend, upcoming weekend, as well as the USLW National Final as well. Also have an MPSL semifinal coming up here on Wednesday. Michigan Rangers. That'll be available here on the National Soccer Network on YouTube and Roku TV. Michigan Rangers beating FC Pride last night. Had a chance to see Michigan Rangers against Michigan Stars back in a U.S. ASA Amateur Cup semifinal game here back about 3 weeks ago.
Detroit City finds himself in a 2-0 hold. We're getting nearing stoppage time. Need to try to get a goal, get some momentum back here to end this first half.
Storley. He'll get it back. Officially entered into stoppage time. Imagine at least getting 3 minutes or so. We did have that water break, hydration break, as Obeid. Carrion. He'll send it across. That's going to hit off. Well, they're going to say he was offside first before it made his way to Ali Marley.
Third offside call against DCSC.
By the way, our stoppage time was a complete guess, Dan. I was not notified by anybody. We are sitting comfortably in our studios here in Shelby Township, Michigan, so there is no press box at Titan Field. I will say, Dan, since we have moved all of our productions Remy and remote style, I have not lost any weight due to sweat and from like the last previous summers we've had. So is this ball played in by Stefani? Flores. Officially in the 2nd minute of stoppage time here at Titan Field. Detroit City on the move. Up that far side. Put across just over the head of Carrion. And now Skachenko already has 2 goals on the afternoon. Finnegan. He'll put one across, and that's all the way to Alamy. Down by the end line. He's got Skachenko making the run.
Look at Skachenko's, both his goals were when he had enough space to cut it back to his left foot. He does favor that side. DCSC trying to defend that.
And the referee has blown the whistle for this first half, so 3 minutes was about spot on, Dan. And so 45 minutes have been completed. Chicago Nation has traveled in here to Michigan and have made a statement to start this game. Skachenko in the 23rd, Skachenko in the 38th, and Chicago Nation have a 2-0 lead. 45 minutes down, 45 minutes ago. Will Chicago Nation continue on, come away with a victory? Will Detroit City FC 2 find the back of the net and take home this game and move on? We'll find out after this. From the biggest matches to the hottest takes, Jonathan Turner and Nathan Wenger bring you the stories, the analysis, and the edge you won't get anywhere else. Streaming live weekdays at 9 a.m. on YouTube, Roku TV, Facebook, Twitter, and all major platforms. No filters, no fluff, just real talk, real soccer. This is Inside the Game.
Flint City Bucks are Michigan's top soccer franchise with 4 national championships, 9 conference titles, and 15 Great Lakes Division titles. They have produced 107 players for Major League Soccer, and they focus on attracting top talent and shaping soccer's future. Michigan Bucks Academy joins NLS Next new competition tier starting in September of 2025. This offers elevated levels of play and flexibility for high school participation. The Academy will provide premier development, high-performance training, and exposure to scouts through regional tournaments and MLS Next events. For more information on tryouts, training programs, and key updates as we prepare for our first season in MLS Next new tier, visit MichiganBucksAcademy.com.
Experience the thrill of the game like never before with NSN's Game Rewind. Dive into full match commentaries enhanced with cutting-edge dynamic graphics, letting you relive the highs and lows of your favorite matches in astonishing detail. Whether it's a championship win or a legendary play, NSN Game Rewind bridges the past and future with a broadcast experience designed to captivate. Call 586-304-4405 and start watching today.
The 2025 UDM Boys Summer College Prospect ID Camp is designed for field players and goalkeepers seeking exposure to college coaches, professional training sessions, competitive matches, and insight into the college soccer environment. Directed by the UDM men's soccer staff, this camp is ideal for players serious about advancing their soccer careers. On July 26th and 27th, the camp becomes a perfect platform for aspiring athletes to showcase their talent and commitment. For more information and to register, visit DetroitMercySoccerCamps.com.
Accelerate your soccer journey this summer at Oakland University. From June 30th to July 31st, players will have the incredible opportunity to refine their skills under the guidance of Oakland University soccer coaches. Train at world-class facilities while gaining insight into life in a collegiate environment. These camps cater to a range of skill sets and ages from youth programs to the Elite ID program, ensuring participants are surrounded by peers who challenge and inspire. As one of the premier soccer institutions in the Horizon League, Oakland University soccer program offers an unparalleled environment for growth and development. Don't miss your chance. Register now at OaklandBoysSoccerCamps.com.
The 2025 UDM Boys Summer College Prospect ID Camp is designed for field players and goalkeepers seeking exposure to college coaches, professional training sessions, competitive matches, and insight into the college soccer environment. Directed by the UDM men's soccer staff, this camp is ideal for players serious about advancing their soccer careers. On July 26th and 27th, the camp becomes a perfect platform for aspiring athletes to showcase their talent and commitment. For more information and to register, visit DetroitMercySoccerCamps.com.
Boost your brand with NSN's live soccer broadcast, reaching a passionate audience in real time. Engage fans during thrilling soccer matches. Maximize visibility with tailored ad packages. Add 30-second or 60-second commercials for concise, impactful messaging and greater audience connection. Call 586-304-4405 and start your campaign today.
Welcome back into Titan Field here in Detroit, Michigan. It's the round of 32, and Chicago Nation have taken a 2-0 lead into the halftime break. Zakar Skachenko has scored both goals in this one, in the 23rd and the 38th minute. Alongside my broadcast partner, Dan Stickert, I'm Jonathan Turner. We'll bring you inside our Shelby Township, Michigan studios. And Dan, when we talk about this matchup, we talked about at the beginning of this game, it's a battle of two Titans. They're playing at Titan Field, and right now Chicago Nation is showing why they've been a consistent Titan in the UPSL.
Well, you look at the way they're playing here in the first half, just beyond the 2-0 edge on that scoreboard. They have a 9-3 overall shots advantage, 5-1 with shots on target, so their defense has been very good all season, very good here so far after 45 minutes of action. Detroit City FC, they do have 4 corner kicks in the game, but they're not doing anything with those corner kicks. We talked about 2 or 3 of those were long, well past the box. They didn't get anything off of those. When you have set pieces, again, we talked about this earlier in the match, you don't know how many you're going to get over the course of a match, so you need to do stuff with corner kicks, with set pieces within 35 or 40 yards, get some shots, get some deflections, and make things happen. And Chicago Nation has done that. They've had quality shots, 2 goals. They had another goal, a kick save by Heisch early in the game. It could have been 3-0 here at the break. So that's kind of, you look at both scenes of what they're doing. Detroit City needs to make things happen and capitalize on their chances. Chicago Nation just keeps continuing to do what they've been doing so far. They have the edge in a lot of categories here after 45 minutes.
That they do. As we mentioned, 45 minutes down, 45 minutes ago. You're watching the UPSL National Playoffs on the UPSL YouTube channel, as well as on the National Soccer Network on Roku TV. We'll be back with second half after this. From the biggest matches to the hottest takes, Jonathan Turner and Nathan Wenger bring you the stories, the analysis, and the edge you won't get anywhere else. Streaming live weekdays at 9 a.m. on YouTube, Roku TV, Facebook, Twitter, and all major platforms. No filters, no fluff, just real talk, real soccer. This is Inside the Game.
The Flint City Bucks are Michigan's top soccer franchise with 4 national championships, 9 conference titles, and 15 Great Lakes Division titles. They have produced 107 players for Major League Soccer, and they focus on attracting top talent and shaping soccer's future. Michigan Bucks Academy joins NLS Next new competition tier starting in September of 2025. This offers elevated levels of play and flexibility for high school participation. The Academy will provide premier development, high-performance training, and exposure to scouts through regional tournaments and MLS Next events. For more information on tryouts, training programs, and key updates as we prepare for our first season in MLS Next new tier, visit MichiganBucksAcademy.com.
The players are making their way back onto the field. We have made our way back live here on the UPSL YouTube channel and Roku TV. Jonathan Turner alongside Dan Stickrat. Let's take a look at some of the first half highlights. And here they are. A free kick. I mean, this was a great kick save right here by Heisch. I mean, you can't ask for a better kick save. That's how this game kind of started, and then this ball pushed out wide. Alamy was involved in a lot of action here in this first half. The first 2 opportunities. Look at this ball laid off to Skachenko. He'll fire that one well wide. And then look at this shot that, remember, it looked a little deceiving, and then it deflected on its way towards goal. And Tkachenko. Good collision with him and Storley. And this ball played and sent in right into the hands of Heisch. Love all the highlights, Dan. You can get them all in, and both teams here still waiting for the referees. You know, they need a break too, Dan. I mean, they do. I mean, it's hot.
Humid.
It's humid. It's Sunday. I imagine most of these referees have worked multiple games here this weekend as well. I actually think we saw the assistant referee there on the left of your screen, actually at the Michigan Stars complex on Friday night for that Michigan Stars-Michigan Jaguars matchup.
Was over in the Midwest Premier League. So much action with all these pre-professional, amateur, and semi-pro leagues across the country. For just about all of them, we are in postseason mode.
Make sure you mute that guy's mic. We'll make sure his mic's not going to turn. Referee looks at his watch, and we get ready here for the second half from Titan Field in Detroit, Michigan. Oftentimes I say in the suburbs of Detroit, Michigan. We're actually in Detroit, Michigan officially, as this second half is officially underway. Chicago Nation again in their white and red and blue trim kits, going right to left on your screen now. Detroit City FC 2 in the maroon and white trim kits now going left to right. Jonathan Turner alongside Dan Stickrat. We're happy to have you along wherever you're watching here today on YouTube as well as on Roku TV as this ball makes its way back to Lebovic, and he'll play it back to Stefani, and Chicago Nation will build from their back. Lineup looks much of the same as it did in the first half. We were not informed of any changes as Flores sails a ball towards that far side, is now headed back to Heisch and Detroit City. Switch to this near side. Benjamin Johns. We had mentioned here from our studios in Shelby Township, we're a slate of WPSL games here today. Conference championships from across the country. A League for Clubs game as well. UPSL matchup.
Great flavor, again, of different leagues across the country. Here in the UPSL, this is a round of 32.
Looks like we did have a change. Number 13 has made his way onto the pitch. That's Mohammed Al-Badawi. Stefani will take his time. Again, both goals scored in that first half by Zakharis Tkachenko, also known as the King of Chicago. Chicago Nation, one of the stronger followings. They've got over 50,000 Instagram followers. We had a chance to cover a game here. We covered 2 games for them in the last 3 weeks. Storley. Now Trask. Bad. Al-Badawi. He'll slip and fall, and this will last touch off of him, and you're seeing some of the frustration from Al-Badawi.
Referee ran over there and made his point to back away from the linesman.
And this is where, again, if you're Detroit City, you know, you're not out of this game. Granted, you're down by 2 goals. We've seen it time and time again. We've covered a national semifinal game where a team was down 3-0 at the half at a giveaway. And Karajan, he'll take a shot that is blocked. He'll go down hard, and it's out for a corner kick.
So this will be the 5th corner kick of the match coming up for DCSC 2. We talked about it in the first half, talked about it here during the halftime show. Create chances off of corner kicks, set pieces within range. So the 5th corner kick, you may not get another one. You may not get a free kick, 2, 3, 5 yards outside the box. Those may not occur. So when you have these opportunities, you need to put it into the mixing bowl.
It's their 5th corner of the game. Ball played short. Strieberger just outside the 18. One back by Chicago Nation. They're on the move. Detroit City does have numbers. Skachenko making the run on this near side, getting involved in play, but that's a good defensive play by Obeid. Plays it up that far side. Karjan, that now Stefani will send one over midfield. That's a great settle. Just out of touch, though.
Come on, City.
Kawashi. Now Klobjan. Flords. Lofts one to the far side. It's settled down, and Detroit City will again look to build from Storley. Going to go over that back line, and now Klobjan and Crockford. Play it back to Marley.
And Detroit City FC, they do have players who can finish. 6 players between 3 and 9 goals. Karjian leads the side with 9 tallies here in 2025. Wearing number 10 out there on the pitch. Chicago Nation's very aware of his presence. They have kept a defender within a step or two this whole game.
Storley. Inside. Strieberger. Looking for that give and go, and did see another change here, this time number 9. That's Lucas Yesayan. For Detroit City SC. Al Bananas says, let's go Nation. Soccer Night Detroit did mention back in that first half, former home of the Detroit Lions back in 1934. Alamy. Crockford. He's got Klobjan right in the middle of the park, but he'll get it back. Down by the end line. He'll send one in on the pitch. Now cleared up over midfield. Streberger. Badawi. A good switch to that far side. Now Storley. Puts one on the pitch. That's intercepted. And now on the counter, here comes Chicago Nation. Alamy. Scott Finnegan. Alamy. Alamy down by the end line, and it will go out last touched off of Detroit City for a corner kick now in favor of Chicago Nation.
This will be Chicago's third corner kick of the match. Saw the last few minutes, Detroit City was doing a better job with their possession game, just unable to get anything going in that final third of the field, and now they can place back on their collective heels on this corner kick coming up.
Skachenko takes one into the box, loose ball, still loose. For a moment, the players were saying that might have gone in. It was bouncing around near the goal line. What a beautiful ball sent in by Skachenko. Another effort from him. Down low. Player goes down inside the box, no call. Pitlick lays it off. Crockford. Detroit City continuing to weather this storm. A few moments there of... And now here they come up that far side. Karzjan.
This way, this way. Get in the box.
Good ball towards this near side. Badawi. Lobovitz there defensively for Chicago, and now
Badawi just held on the bar too long. Very indecisive down in the right corner. Allow Chicago Nation to reset. He eventually just picked off that pass.
Skachenko already has a brace in this one. Finds Alamy. Flores. Back to Crockford. Next chance we get, we will take a look at a replay of that ball from Skachenko that, as the ball was skipping around, cleared off the goal line. Kawashi plays inside. Kept on. Badawi. Streberger. Good give and go between Streberger and Karzjan, and now a ball through space for Finnegan. Out comes Heist, but the flag stayed down. I thought maybe for a second the way they were playing that, maybe the flag went up. It did not. No comment coming in saying Detroit City is overrated a lot because of the name of their first team. I think you could argue that for any in any environment, maybe with your first team. And Marley will take down Obeid. to win the Midwest East here in Michigan, you're talking about playing some really, really top teams. I mean, Detroit United is a team that's been the staple, the gold standard in the UPSL Midwest East for a long time. I mean, you've got the likes of David Tatai, just some really, really good players who play on that team. And they've made their way out of the Midwest East and into this tournament time and time again. And Detroit City was able to stop them in their tracks here on Monday night. They won the league. It's a free kick coming up here for Detroit City.
Again, Detroit City's had some great numbers. 41-6 scoring edge, just plus 35. 7 shutouts, 0.55 goals against average. 10-1-0 overall this season. 9-10 win percentage. I don't think that is overrated by any stretch of that word. Both these teams have very similar stats. Both these teams have earned the right in here into the field of 32. Chicago Nations just played slightly better here today. Far more opportunistic.
So we'll see this free kick about 30 yards or so from goal. Ball played in. It was loose there for a moment. Marley played it into the hands of his goalkeeper, Stefani, who will put this up over midfield. Yeah, overrated is one of those things. I don't buy into the overrated talk. I think that each team has to stand on their own. And again, this is the second year I believe this team's even in this league. And there's going to be moments where you're going to have success, and sometimes it might be harder or take longer than maybe what you expect. But this team is coming along, and I would imagine that they will find a way to stand on their own, just like the USLW side has done. We called that game last week as ball put into the box, and that's cleared away by Marley once again. And we saw them against Kings Hammer. I mean, they started off slow in that game, and it ended up coming back to bite them like it's coming to bite Detroit City right now. If you start off slow against good teams, what's going to happen is if you let goals in, if you can't find a way to score a goal, which obviously is the game of soccer, it's how you lose and win, but you can't allow a team to take control of the game like Chicago Nation has done here today. And we saw it against Kings Hammer in that USLW matchup here last weekend, and it cost Detroit City. They were firing back in that second half. They put 3 balls in the back of the net, but 2 of them were called back for offside, and they ended up falling short 2-1. So, and they went all the way to a national semifinal last year, falling to the Colorado Storm, who ended up falling in the national final to NC Courage, who by happenstance is back in that final again this year after beating Asheville City 1-0 last night. Sorry, 2-1 after going down 1-0. They actually got a red card in that game, and we're playing down a player for much of that game.
When you talk about leads in games, and I'm talking about all levels of soccer.
Well, here comes Finnegan. The flag will go up this time. Let's take a look at that replay here from a few moments ago from when this ball comes in. Again, Skachenko is the one that played the ball into the 18. And getting a touch on that was Pitlick. And then right there was Marley on the goal line as well. I don't know if he just didn't hit it, if it hit off Heiss, who was on his back. And you can call that luck, you can call that whatever it is, but
Heitch had the save on the first shot.
Oh, look at this go. Loose it in! Just like that, Streberger pulls one back, and Detroit City is within 1.
Just the second shot on frame.
Look at this, a simple ball coming in and just misplayed by Lebovic. It's on, and it was not number 8, by the way. That was actually Yesian who put that one in, number 9. So number 9, Lucas Yesian, a substitute coming in, puts one in the back of the net in the 63rd. It's now 2-1. It's a whole new game now.
I was just going to mention right before that shot that professional soccer, international, youth club, high school varsity, collegiate, semi-pro, and professional, amateur, whatever level of soccer you're watching, I can't tell me how many hundreds of games I have been present for as a reporter, as a commentator, as a color analyst, whatever the case may be. Teams are up 3-0, 4-0, 4-1, 2-0, and they have ended up losing a game. It happens in all levels of soccer. It will likely happen in this field of 32 here, just inside the UPSL national tournament. You look at all the other pre-professional amateur leagues across the nation, it will happen there as well. Some team will have a comfortable lead, at least they think it's comfortable. Team pulls a goal back, gains momentum, and they put a late push, maybe force extra time, overtime, whatever you want to call it.
Let's go. Look at your wing.
And then they end up rallying for a victory. It happens all the time in the sport of soccer.
So 64th minute, it's 2-1 in favor of Chicago Nation. A 63rd minute goal by Lucas Yesayan have Detroit City within one. Good win back by Streberger. Skachenko tries to keep it on the pitch on that far side. It will trickle out, and a throw-in coming up for Detroit City. The type of things you might see in a game like this, Dan, is what we've seen already. You've seen moments where this ball is looked to be sent in on the turf. It's cleared up now. But these singular moments, right, where they can cost you. And we saw a moment where in the early moments of this game, this ball sent back across. Marley was there at that back post. And Stefani will clear this out into the suburbs of Detroit. But you know, like Heisch makes this toe save, right? You can look at it. There was a shot by Obed that went off the crossbar. These moments, right, where you can go back and say, hey, man, if that was an inch there, or, you know, hey, if the wind caught it there, or if it deflected this way, you know, these moments that happen where they can cost you or they can be obviously in your favor. And we've seen a couple of those moments here today that benefited both teams. I can't think of a better moment that benefited Detroit City or any team in this matter. And when Lebovic made that mistake where the ball just becomes right there, it's on the doorstep, and all you got to do is put it in home. This ball sent back into the box and now cleared away. And that's nothing. Lebovic is a fantastic defender. We've seen him time and time again. He was one of your more consistent defenders, and so it's nothing against him. It's just you look at this, okay, that's a moment right there that I know he wants back. As Hayden Stein says, Lebovic won't let another by. I could argue that too. I think it's a good.
You know, I was at Oakland University, I believe it was 2021, and Cleveland State was in first place at that time in the Horizon League. This is a men's soccer match, and they were up, I believe, 3-0 in the halftime. Oakland University came back. I think they had like 6 shots in frame in the second half, put 4 in the back of the net, and won 4-3. So if you are a fan of sports like soccer, like hockey, I can't emphasize enough that sometimes leads are never safe. It's one thing if you're up 9-0 in the 83rd minute. I'm talking about games between two quality teams like this. No lead is safe.
No, we saw it in a national semifinal game here. This was back in 2023. We were at we were in Columbus, Ohio. You weren't there at the time with me. It was me and Steve Bask. We were calling the national semifinal at the old Columbus Crew Stadium for the UPSL. And the team out of California, and I'm drawing a blank on who the team was, but they were down 3-0 at the half. They came back and won that game 5-3. You know, so especially at a level like this when you're down by 2 goals. 2-goal leads don't mean a whole lot. Now, granted, you could ask any coach in the world, they're going to say, I'd rather have a 2-goal lead than be down by 2 goals. But, again, we talk about the momentum shift that can happen. This game is feeling very similar to that Detroit City game last weekend that we did. That was in Pittsburgh, you know, at Highmark Stadium with home of the Riverhounds and the Riveters. Again, 2 early goals by Kings Hammer FC. Detroit City found themselves in a hole. They had a goal called back for offside. They end up scoring a goal. And then another goal goes in the waning moments of the game that was again called back for being in an offside position or for a foul. They end up losing that game 2-1. There's still 22 minutes to go in this game. Jonathan Turner alongside Dan Stickrath from our Shelby Township, Michigan studios. You're watching the UPSL Round of 32 National Playoffs on UPSL YouTube and the National Soccer Network Roku TV channel. You want to watch us on Roku, you can by simply going to your Roku TV channel, downloading the NSN app, and watching this on our 24/7 playout right now as this ball played through the seam. Yes, Jan Stefani makes the save. This might have gone out. It did. So Stefani coming up big there. Yes, Jan has come on, and he is showing something special here in this second half.
Even a little extra boost of energy. They did not have that in the first half. Detroit City already has 3 shots in the second half. They only had 3 throughout the whole first 45 minutes of play. And now they've earned their 6 corner kicks so far.
Curve towards the back post. Stefani gets a fist on it. Back across and in! But it looks as though maybe the ball had gone out first for another corner. And I believe that was put in by number 11.
It was headed back in from that right side. The referee might have said right here it might have been just out of play.
It was put back across by Storley.
Yeah, Storley was out of bounds, so that's what they called. Storley was out of bounds, not by much, but I think that's what the whistle was for.
So the corner kick, so the ball did not count. It did go in the back of the net. And tracked down by Skachenko on this near side, and that's a good slide. Out of play, it will go. Another substitution coming in for Detroit City FC, number 22, Chase Pollock. Again, I also saw number 11 on the field as well. I don't know if that's who put that in the back of the net or not. That's Keen McCauley. It's funny, Dan, we just talked about goals being called back moments before that. So the commentator curse is real. Well, free kick coming up for Detroit City. 72nd minute. If you're just joining us here, 2 first-half goals from Sakar Skachenko for Chicago Nation in the first half. Had them with a 2-0 lead going into the halftime break. And then just a few minutes ago, back in the 63rd, Lucas Yesian pulling one back and putting Detroit to within 1 here with 18 minutes to go. How bad are we? We're going to get it back from McCauley. Good pressure here now from Detroit City. That might be a foul, and surely it is, as Trask went right through the back of Crockford, who is slow to get up. That cramp looks painful. Those are the ones that those do hurt, Dan.
Still on the ground. Game's got a little more physical here in the second half. Both teams 3 fouls against. The referee kind of taking notice, a little bit more extracurricular activities going on, so he has to start pulling some cards to keep this game under control.
The official water break. Coming up here on August 1st through August the 3rd, yours truly, along with Dan Stickrat, will be at the North American Soccer Expo at the Suburban Showcase Collection in Novi, Michigan, along with our staff, as we'll be presenting on how to give your club more exposure. We'll talk about the different things that we provide, not only from a broadcasting standpoint, but also a marketing standpoint. To learn more about the North American Soccer Expo, head over to the NorthAmericanSoccerExpo.com today. You can also register to become one of the attendees at that event. Registration will end on July 27th, where you can save some significant money. We'll be there along with Alexi Lawless, who we've had a chance to have on our network here, I think 3 times now over the years.
I know Paul Tinney and the Michigan Jaguar staff. I talked to Paul back in early March. He mentioned some of the individuals that they already had committed, some of the others across the country they had sent invitations to, and should be a fun event, a great networking event for the very least if you are involved with different levels of soccer here. Not just in Michigan, the Midwest, but across the country. Looking forward to getting around, shaking some hands, and mingling some people.
So 86 degrees now as the temperature has risen a little bit since kickoff. It was 84 degrees at the kickoff mark. We are officially again in our hydration break. Watching the UPSL National Playoffs. Let's take a look at the bracket here right now. Again, this is how everything looks. You look on that left side of your screen, like every single game has been played, and they're currently round of 16 taking place. It took place yesterday as well as today. Those scores will be updated here throughout the day today on the UPSL website. On the right side of your screen are every game that's currently being played here across the country. Detroit City FC 2 and Chicago Nation right there at the top of your screen. Foot Ohio SC, New York Shockers. They will play the winner of that game, whoever wins this one. We're back underway here. He's about to get back underway here at Titan Field.
I was on the call for a Foot Ohio game, I believe, last November.
And they traveled all the way into Highmark Stadium. There was that as well. There's also one that was in Ohio.
Yeah, in Marion, Ohio, because I remember it was extremely cold that night. It dropped down the upper 20s at for a 6 p.m. game.
I think Foot Ohio went all the way to a national semifinal. They went all the way to California. They went to Highmark and won that game. That game, I believe, they won in penalties. Again, in Highmark Stadium, where we were just part of 3 broadcasts here last week.
I believe I was on the call with Noah Drury on that particular game. It did go to Pens.
Our company, the Premier Media Group, and have covered 3 national finals for the UPSL. Columbus, Ohio here a number of years ago. Leesburg, Virginia, as well as one in Orange County, as this ball looked to be sent into the 18. Diving header is cleared away. Crockford now has it at his feet. And Chicago Nation now on the move. All sent up. I believe that was Stefan Kanane, number 18, who was trying to collect that ball. And this is where things can become a challenge for a coach, right? It's a very, very hot day, and you want to get your players opportunities to rest. That's why obviously water breaks and hydration breaks are very important in games like this today. But, if somehow Detroit City finds a way to get another one back here and equalize this game, that makes this game very interesting as this ball put into the 18. A shot that was blocked.
There's been a handful of shots in this game that were actually blocked by defenders.
Play to this near side. Flores. Hickowitz. Back to Flores. Hickowitz now into the 18. Great slide tackle. Could have asked for a better defensive recovery from Al-Badawi.
This crossed into the 80th minute.
Now this ball up that far side. Detroit City SC looking for the equalizer in the 80th minute. Karjian. Yes, Ian. This last touched off Detroit City, they say, and out for a goal kick. Comment section has gotten a little quiet on the UPSL YouTube channel. Last comment coming in was Lebovic won't let another one by. I feel like that was almost 10 minutes ago. 131 of you are watching right now on YouTube. And we are live on the UPSL YouTube channel and Roku TV. Here's Stefani. Yessian, who collides. Leave with. Not quite sure who that was, actually. Oh, it was not Marley. Hashimula is who he collided with, number 12. So, free kick coming up here. Swatala. Michael Swatala now on the pitch as well for Chicago Nation. Sir Garrett Haywood and this Chicago Nation side. You don't need another goal. Is this ball sent across? And out of play will go.
You're only up 2-1 in the 82nd minute, so it makes a comment about you don't need another goal. It goes back to some of these comebacks I've witnessed over the years, different levels of soccer.
Well, this ball has played into McCauley. McCauley tried to pass it too quick. Strieberger back out to McCauley. Scott Yesset again inside the 18. Al-Badawi on his right foot. Will look to float one in, and this back at his feet. Strieberger, can he keep it on the pitch? He can. It's low and kicked up and over by Karjian.
Karjian, the leading goal scorer with 9 goals this year, a little bit snake bit this afternoon. Again, Chicago Nation's defense has marked him tight throughout the course of this match. We're now in the 83rd minute. It's definitely a player you do not want to give a lot of space to. Very easily equalize this game.
Stefani puts it back in play. Hit off the head of Chase Pollock, and out of play it will go. 84th minute, 6 minutes ago, plus stoppage time. Chicago Nation still in the lead. 2-1. Skachenko with the brace here this afternoon. Looking to go up over the top, and that's intercepted by Chicago Nation. Crockford. Jamula played it out wide. One back. Detroit City on the counter. Karjian, he'll cut back. He'll play it back. That's a great ball. Unable to keep that under control, but it's pushed out for a corner kick. So corner number 6 coming up here for 8 coming up here for Detroit City FC. It's Sunday, Dan. I don't need to do my math. My math isn't nebulous. On Monday, it could get back to normal. This ball played in low. They've gotten away from these balls that have been high up in the air, and they've decided to go low. I just want to see a well-driven ball just into the 18 on a corner kick, just a rocket, you know.
Again, send it in there. See if you can get a player rise above traffic and head it home.
Kawashi. He'll switch the point of attack. Ball curled in. It's now off the head of Karjian. Streberger. Pollock crossing over into the 86th minute, and now Karjian is taken down, and a dangerous free kick coming up here for Detroit City SC.
This looks to be about 23, 24 yards out. They have not had a opportunity like this in the game so far. I did mention a couple times earlier in this match, you never know when those set pieces could arrive, and here in the 86th minute, Detroit City SC 2 down 2-1. They need to make something happen off this set piece.
So Karjian is going to stand over this kick. Looks to be a 3-man wall for Chicago Nation. It looks like downtown Chicago is that wall. This ball comes in from Karjian. It's cleared away. Detroit City still has the ball. Kawashi held up for a moment by Flores. Looking to deliver one into the box. El Badawi loses it and gives it right back to Chicago Nation. And here they come on the counter, but Heiss was out off his line, and for good measure.
Detroit starting to play a little bit more of urgency here in the last 10 minutes.
Karjian looking inside for Streberger. This will actually last touch off of Nation, but Stefani's able to clear it out of play for a throw-in.
Out of play, over the street.
We also saw a substitution. Ali Khalid, number 6, has also made his way onto the pitch for Detroit City SC.
Gross Eel High School graduate. Only played 1 year of high school ball. He did get involved with the MLS next circles his final 3 years of high school, but very good playmaker.
Ball sent into the box and picked out of the air by Stefani. He'll take his time. 88th minute. 2 minutes to go here, plus stoppage time. Stefani chooses to throw here to this near side. And Flores. He'll play it up for Hickowitz. Hickowitz now cuts inside, takes a shot with his right foot. That's blocked, and it'll go out for a corner kick. It's a byproduct of getting forward with numbers, is you're going to start to see, you know, that vulnerability that Detroit City FC's back line has now. It doesn't matter whether you lose by 4 or lose by 1. A loss is still a loss, so you want to go out and try to get a goal back here and equalize this game. Looks as though we'll see Nation play it possibly short, which again would be to try to buy some time. Ball delivered into the 18 off the corner. Heiss went up for the punch. I'm not sure if he got a piece of it or not. He did not, says the assistant referee on that far side. We'll see a throw-in.
Now in the 89th minute, about a minute and a half with stoppage time. Time starting to tick down. DCFC's 2 season, unless they can find a way to get the ball in that final third of the field and get a late equalizer here.
McCauley goes down on that far side. It's going to be last touched off of Detroit City SC, says the referee crew. Player for Chicago Nation is down on the ground. That was Glorioso. Officially in the 90th minute. It's a 1-goal lead in favor of Chicago Nation. Not able to get that cleanly. Out comes Heisch, and he'll pick it up, but Badawi made a meal of that clearance. Good turn from Crockford as another foul is. Looks as though we're going to see 5 minutes of stoppage time. So Labovich is the one that went down. So free kick was given to Chicago Nation. Marley will put this one back in play. I would send this one to Pontiac if I were Marley. Flores floats one into the 18. Heisch will snag it out of the air. All over that back line. Labovich, good recovery from him. That was a challenging recovery.
Great tackle. Got all ball on that.
Switch to the far side. And now Chicago Nation with numbers playing it up top, and our Cannon was in an offside position. 2nd minute of stoppage time. Streberger keeps it low. Khalid plays it inside to Johns. Nation now perfectly fine and content, sitting back. No foul. Kawashi into Johns. Right up the middle. Now Storley. Good work up that far side. Might run out of real estate. Unable to get there in time. And the ball goes over the end line.
Now less than 3 minutes of stoppage time. Detroit City needs to start throwing everything, including the kitchen sink of that back line and goalkeeper of Chicago Nation.
I believe that was Burhan, number 12. Time running out here for Detroit City SC 2 and their playoff hopes. Referee had acknowledged 5 minutes of added time. Heisch, we cross over now into the 4th minute of added time. Badawi met by contact and Flores. Crockford. This ball goes out of play. Last touch off Detroit City FC. Another ball off Detroit City SC.
You can see both teams a little drained of energy here in the final minutes. The heat, humidity, the temperatures on a turf field, they can take their toll.
Looks as though maybe he might have been in an offside position. No, we're going to see a throw-in. So we crossed over into the 5th minute of stoppage time. This ball cleared up high, headed by Marley, settled down by Nation. There were moments there here in the final minutes of this game that you felt that maybe there'd be something from Detroit City FC that could get them back in this game. We saw a ball go in the back of the net. Off the head. We thought it possibly was an equalizer. It was instead ruled a corner kick. Chicago Nation have won the ball back. Flores. And instead of going to goal, we'll go to the corner and try to finish out this game. That's a heavy tackle. And that's going to be a free kick and a yellow card to Benjamin Johns. And I would imagine that will do it, Dan, is referee looking at his watch.
Figure once the ball's put in back in the play here, the referee is going to blow his whistle here in just a few seconds. And that foul was with about 10 seconds left in stoppage time, so.
Ball is played back in. Cleared up over midfield. Stefani is there. He'll just clear it back up again. It looked as though the referee had showed, again, 5 minutes. We are well over that now. Obadawi plays it into the interior. That's now cleared away. Everyone's wondering what's going on. And the referee has, in fact, blown the final whistle. And Chicago Nation is moving on here to the round of 16. Well, they'll take on the winner of Foot Ohio and New York Shockers. They did it off the back of Zakhar Skachenko. His 2 goals in the first half were all the difference and all that Chicago Nation needed today to defeat Detroit City FC 2. Again, a look there at your match scoring summary. Again, Zakhar Skachenko in the 23rd and 38th minute. And then Lucas Yesayan pulling one back in the 63rd. Take a look here at some of the highlights from this match. Love to be able to take a look at the 3 goals that were scored in this one.
There were some very good chances in this game that did not result in the goals.
And you are looking at the first half highlights in this game. And then here is the first goal against Skachenko. It didn't look all that dangerous, but found a way to get past an outstretched Heisch in the 23rd minute. And then this counterattack. Skachenko cutting it back, cutting it low. And a 2-0 lead. And then here is the header. Sorry, not header, I apologize. The finish by Yesayan. And that was in the 63rd minute. That's all the scoring in this one. And New York Shockers will take on Chicago in the round of 16. But for our production crew here in Detroit, Michigan, I want to thank Peter Mazuik, along with Sam Fisher. our producer today, Brianna Turner, as well as Bianca. We also had a number of other support here in our studio, but for my broadcast partner, Dan Stickrat, I'm Jonathan Turner. For one final time here today, your final score was 2-1 in favor of Chicago Nation over Detroit City FC. That'll wrap up our coverage of the UPSL National Playoffs here on the UPSL YouTube channel. Thank you for stopping by here today. Subscribe, like, and share this with your friends and family. And we'll see you next time for more soccer. So long, everybody.
Boost your brand with NSN's live soccer broadcast, reaching a passionate audience in real time. Engage fans during thrilling soccer matches. Maximize visibility with tailored ad packages. Add 30-second or 60-second commercials for concise, impactful messaging and greater audience connection. Call 586-304-4405 and start your campaign today.